has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth, but we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hey everyone, Herc here, bringing you our first episode of Darkest Dungeon. Now this is a Let's Play I've been really excited to get going for you. I always, when a new release comes out, I like to give it a couple days, a week if possible. Because with any new release, especially early access, there's going to be some bug fixes, and sometimes those are game-breaking. I don't believe Darkest Dungeon had any of those. It's a very well put together early access game. I mean, this is a great model of what early access should be about. I would say this game is probably 85% done compared to most early accesses that are like 15% done. So far this game is doing great, and I don't know if that's an accurate assumption, but it just feels very well put together. The gameplay elements, the story, the cinematics, I mean everything about this game is pretty point on. I think for a lot of people, this is a game that a lot of people have been waiting for. What it is, this is a game that's actually really hard to describe. I would say it is a very dark, gothic, side-scroller RPG, squad management, I guess just very roguelike RPG almost. I mean, but dungeon delving. There's just so many ways you could describe this game. My favorite way is just good. I mean, it's just a great game. Genres aside, it's just very well put together. So we're just gonna kind of dive into this like we normally do. As you can see, we're starting a fresh campaign, and it is going to be Olympus as usual. Let's get it set up.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
God, if that is not a kick-ass intro, I don't know what is. I mean, the beginning intro, leading you into the old road. This is just it gets my blood going. Okay, so I guess to start off explaining about the game, so here's the map navigation. If you see, look to the bottom right, you pretty much click a destination you want to go, and you go through different number of tiles, and each of these tiles could have a random event that could happen in it. And as far as I know, you always start out with the two same characters. You always get Dismiss and Reynald. And we're actually going to switch these guys, or rename them. So we're going to have Herc here as the Crusader, because he's probably the most badass guy ever. And our Highwayman here is going to be Deadpool. So like I said, the first two guys you start with are always the same, as far as I'm aware of. You get the same starting gear, the same starting characters, same starting stats. If you look at them, I mean, they all have these different kind of different moves you can do in the battle strategic view, I guess you would call it. And then they have their camping skills, and sometimes on the bigger dungeons you have camping situations, so you don't have to go through the whole dungeon without being able to rest. And everyone has their own quirks. The ones on the left are the good quirks about them, and the ones on the right are the bad ones. So, and these are randomized. These aren't always the same, even for the starting characters. I know that. But the base stats and stuff, I'm not sure if those are randomized for the starting characters or not. But once you do get through the beginning intro, kind of the tutorial mission here, you arrive at a hamlet, which is a small village that I guess you own. It's your inheritance or something. And then every character you get beyond that is totally randomized. And even if we got, say, another Highwayman, his stats, his skills, everything is randomized. Up here, the preferred position, if you don't know, you get up to a party of 4, and you will be facing up to a party of 4, and it just says where they prefer to be, just because certain moves only work if they're in a certain position, and they only attack certain targets. And I'll explain a little bit more about that once we get into the battle here. So let's just go through the quirks real quick so we know what we're dealing with. Deadpool's good quirks is hard noggin, so he's got 15% stun resistance. He's got quick reflexes, which give him 2 speed, so that's great to have. That'll just help him in the initiative order. And then he's a known cheat, is not allowed to gamble while in town. Now that kind of sucks, because the way this game kind of does it is it has a stress meter right here, and the higher the stress, and once they reach 1,000, they could, or once they reach 100, and sometimes it doesn't even have to go to 100, they'll get a new quirk, and it could be a good quirk, it could be a bad quirk, it could just be totally random. So that's how you have to deal with stresses. At your hamlet, your little village that you'll have, you can send your guys to the church to pray, to the brothel to have fun, to the gambling hall, and all those, release stress. So as you other adventurers are going out on dungeon delving quests, everyone else is kind of letting loose and relaxing back at town. So this guy can't gamble. And then if we go to Herc here, his quirks is a warrior of light, so if the light level is above 75, he does plus 10% damage. And this bar up here, this is the light level. So we have radiant light is 100. So since we're at so high, we get a bonus to scouting, which means we can, pretty much find traps along the way easier. And then there's a better chance we're going to surprise monsters we encounter. And that could be human, beast, undead, whatever. Just a better surprise. And then he is obviously going to be like more of a frontline kind of fighter, and he prefers just to fight the front 2. And let's see, he's got a couple good moves here, and we'll look at this once we get into our first battle here. So anyway, that's kind of the overview of that. You move with the regular WASD, and you just kind of pick a destination on the map here. We're going to move to that room.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
And just so you guys know, something that I've been watching a couple other Let's Plays, because this game's been out for about a week now. Something that annoys the crap out of me is when YouTube commentators talk while the narrator is talking. Like, shut up, I just want to hear the narrator say his 2 cents. The voice acting in this game is wonderful. I love it. So every time that guy opens his beautiful mouth, I'm going to shut mine. So just a heads up on that. So let's continue forward. So as you can see, we're going through squares.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Yes, sir. So here's the battle screen. So I don't know exactly how the initiative goes, but I'm pretty sure it's based on your speed. And you know, you can roll between a 1 and a 6, I believe. So Deadpool has a high speed, the highwayman here, so he's gonna go first. So he has a couple moves he has. One is Open Vein. He has to be in the beginning 3, or the first 3 slots to use it, and it only works on the first 2 slots. Or he can do Pistol Shot, which he cannot do for some reason. And then he has Grape Shot, where he has to be in the middle 2 squares, and it can hit all 3. If you see the red dots down there on Grape Blast Shot, or Grape Shot Blast, they're all linked, which means it's a AoE. It'll hit multiple people. And then he has Take Aim, which is just a buff. It gives him +4 accuracy and +5 crit, which is pretty good. In a longer battle, that might be good, but for this, it's not going to be that great. Open Vein, though, has a accuracy base of 85, which is solid. Damage modifier is -15%, so it's only doing 85% of the normal damage, but it does make the target bleed for 2 points of damage for 3 rounds. Now, they do have a chance to resist the bleed, so there's a chance that might not work, but I know bleed can stack. So if I hit him 3 times with Open Vein, that means he's going to be bleeding for 6 points of bleed damage, and every time he doesn't resist the bleed, the 3-turn duration starts over. So we're gonna start here. Deadpool's gonna open his vein. Oh, look at that! Just like an animated comic book. Just okay. He didn't resist the bleed. That's great. He's attacking back. Look at that animation. That's what I love about this this battle, or this type of gameplay here. So as you can see, that uppercut made Herc here go back a slot on the attacking. So that's okay. All of his abilities are still good. But if we would have had like our healer here, I mean, that would kind of suck bringing that person up to the front line. So to start, Herc has Smite, accuracy base is 80, which is still good, and Self, monster type Unholy, plus 15% damage. So if we're attacking an Unholy, which he's not, he's just a human, it would be 15% more damage. He has Zealous Accusation, which works. He has to be in the first 2 slots, and that is an AoE, so it'll hurt the first 2. Accuracy base is 80, but damage modifier is -40%. So you're only doing 60% of your damage, which is 7 to 13 for Herc. So that's a pretty low one, but I mean, if you hit 2 people with it, you're doubling the damage potential. Could be worth it. Stunning Blow is probably Herc's best move here. What it is, its accuracy base is 85, so it's pretty likely it's going to hit. Damage modifier is -67%, so it doesn't do much damage, but it's a 100% stun chance. So if it does hit, it's going to stun him. So with one guy, I mean, I could literally just play the stun game. I stun, Deadpool hits. I stun, Deadpool hits. And eventually you're going to whittle the guy away. I mean, it's kind of a weenie way to go about it, but this game is hard. I mean, it is not here to be your friend. I mean, there's tons of people in the forums right now complaining it's too hard and to dumb it down and, you know, make it easier. Forget that crap. I mean, roguelike to me is supposed to just be hard. I mean, you have to think about it, you have to strategize, you have to plan. That's what I like about this game, and it's permadeath. So if Herc dies, Herc's gone. I mean, yeah, you can always recruit another Crusader, but you might have him built up to high level, kicking ass, and he's just gone forever. And then his last ability is Bulwark of Faith. So it does give the torch +5, which is nice. It'll increase the light level. So you're already down to 88 out of our 100 we started with. And it gives him +20% protection. So again, in a longer battle, probably great, but for now, we're just going to start. I love the animated comic book. Bam, he didn't resist the stun. 2 bleed damage, so Deadpool's probably going to finish him off with Open Vein. See, he just used his ability to undo that stun there.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Got 25 gold, not much, but you know, this is kind of the tutorial here. We're going to switch back with her, get him to a front line position. And let's keep moving over. Okay, and every once in a while you will get an interactive object. So we're going to have Deadpool here go. He's going to check inside.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
So we got 100 gold and a ruby worth 1,000. We're taking all of it. Now we're going to be going through to the next part of the dungeon here.
An ambush.
So here we are.
Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Yeah, get out of here, bandits. So Grape Shot now, only bad part is because this guy is a double wide unit, so he actually takes up the first 2 squares. That our grape shot shouldn't work on both of them. You know, I'm not 100% sure, so perhaps I should try it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so it did hit both of them, which isn't bad. Blanket fire, so he's going to do a similar thing back to us. And we are going to stun this big guy, hopefully. Ah, okay, see, he resisted the stun. Okay, only 1 damage, but 2 bleeds. Now that is going to hurt us, because now we're doing 1 damage for 3 rounds of bleed damage. We're going to do Grape Shot again, because I want to take out this guy in the back more in the core unit. Got 1 more turn, and we should be able to finish it. 1 big shot, so that's just a single target, big damage dealer. Don't be a sissy there, Hurt. Come on. Okay, so let's try to get that stunning blow. He does have stun resistance up to 50%. You know what? We're just gonna smite. We're gonna smite. Ah, see? I can't smite the back guy because he's blocked. Okay, let's stun him. Come on, baby. Ah, he resisted the stun. That's unfortunate. We're still bleeding for a little bit. We are gonna open this guy's vein, though. Blanket fire. We dodged it. That's great. Ooh, punishment. Ooh, so him and Hurt want to go rounds. That's what I'm talking about. Ouch. See, now Hurt's bleeding for 3 bleed damage. That is really bad. Okay, so we're just going to try to finish off this big guy with a big smite attack. Deadpool give us the win here. Come on. Blanket fire. Yep.
Death
Holy
waits
cow.
for the slightest
Those were,
lapse in
whenever
concentration.
you get crit, you saw that little pop up there. That means that we just
How
got
quickly the
stressed
tide
there.
turns.
We gotta open this guy's vein. We gotta finish him, Deadpool. We gotta finish him. If we crit them, we get a stress reliever, so their stress level will go down. If they crit us, our stress goes up. Bam.
The bigger the beast, the greater the
He
glory.
finished the guy, so he just relieved some stress there. And we are gonna smite this guy
Press
and finish him for the
disadvantage.
win.
Give
Now
them
look
no
at that.
quarter.
This is the tutorial, and we're right there to dead. So we got Onyx, sells for 500 gold. We got a Moon Ring. Ooh, I've never actually had an item like this before off the first chest here. So it's light below 25, we get 15% damage. Light below 25 is -4 accuracy. Light above 75 is -12% damage. Light above 75 is -4 accuracy. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, pretty much every item has its pros and cons. But this one is just, I guess it deals more damage when the lights go dark, but you're less accurate. But then if the lights are bright, it's less damage and less accuracy. So that one might just be, I might just sell that if I can. Whenever that pops up, it means we completed the quest. And this chest here, I'll just open it for you. I know that it's poisoned every time just to show you that, hey, you know, the game is trying to tell you not everything is as good as it seems. So we'll use Deadpool here to open the chest. Hopefully it doesn't die. Nope, so he's just blighted. So see, that's just kind of the game telling you, hey, not everything's as good as it seems to be. So we barely survived that first little skirmish there. It's not a good sign for this Let's Play. So let's finish the quest. The old road. We got a good chunk of money here by selling all of our goods. Didn't get any heirlooms, but that's fine. Got 2 resolved, and Deadpool here got a quirk. And he is the Slayer of Eldritch. So he gets +10 accuracy and +3 crit chance on Eldritch monster types. Not sure what those are, but hey, it's a good quirk, not a bad. I'll take it. Here's our lovely hamlet.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Okay, so right here's the activity log, so it'll kind of give us an assumption, or just a quick run-up of everything that's happened. So we unlocked the ruins area. Deadpool and Herc both leveled up. He's an apprentice crusader, apprentice highwayman. And we were successfully escorted to the hamlet. Now these are the quest goals, and these are just kind of like, hey, go defeat these bosses here. Here's our current, let's see, help screen. So these are our current guys right here. Just kind of you know, you can please not again. So Herc's kind of stressing out here. He's a kleptomatic, so he's prone to stealing, God-fearing, and town will only pray for stress relief. And he's a warrior of the light. Let's see Deadpool here. Okay, so here's kind of our little hamlet village here. You know, we got the blacksmith, the guild, the abbey, sanitarium, the tavern, and the nomad wagon. Now, there's only two kind of unlocked right now. One being the stagecoach. Now,
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Well said, well said. Awesome narrative voice. So pretty much what it is this is where you're going to be getting your new heroes. So right now we have the Plague Doctor.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
And the Seeker Vestal.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
So pretty much she is a Seeker of Vestal, is more like a healer cleric class. So she's you know, if you know a cleric, it's kind of a frontline fighter, but does a lot of healing and support buffs. And then our Plague Doctor here, he's more of an AoE dealer, so he's got a lot of stuff that kind of hits multiple people, debuffs them, stuff like that. So let's check out what we're dealing with here. So his quirks are as a natural swing, +5 accuracy, and a meditator. Improves stress reduction while meditating and while camping. So those are actually both great quirks to have. But he's flawed release, so he's -3% crit chance, which sucks, but I mean that's not the end of the world. That's not too bad. Let's check out our Sister of Vestal. Her good quirks are Warren's Tactician. In the Warren, she gets plus 15% damage. You don't have that unlocked yet, but that's still a good one. And then the Slayer of Eldritch. Wow, no one likes the Eldritch. But she has Deviant Taste. Is not allowed to visit the brothel. Ooh, so she gets she's a dirty girl. She gets a little rough. That's fine. Some people like it, some people don't. No big deal. And let's start with our Plague Doctor's combat skills. He has Noxious Blast, which looks like it's a single target, -33% damage, but it does blight the target, so it's kind of like Open Bane. Plague Grenade, that hits the back 2 tiles. Accuracy base is 75, so it's decently accurate. And the damage modifier is -75%, so it's pretty weak, but it blights 2 points for 3 rounds. So that's poisoning 2 people. That's a pretty good one. Blinding Gas. Damage modifier is -100, so it does no damage, but it's guaranteed to stun, and it does it for both of the back targets. That's actually a great move. And then Incision. Let's see. Accuracy base is 75. Crit chance is 5% on the target. Bleed for 1.3 rounds. So I believe it doesn't even do any damage. It just causes bleed. We'll have to test that one out. Then it's got some camping skills here, and when we camp, we'll kind of get into that. Now the Sister of Bastille, she has just a Mace Bash. Just does a normal hit. Oh, and that doesn't have a damage modifier either. So that just means it's normal damage. So this has 4 to 9. It's just normal. That must be same with his Incision move. Then she has Dazzling Light. It's -50% damage, 80% accuracy. It gives you Torch +5 and a guaranteed stun. That's a single target on the first 2 tiles. Divine Grace heals 3 to 5 on a single target on the back 2, which is decent. And then Illumination. So this gives you, it's -40%. It's a single target, but it can hit anyone, anywhere on any of the 4 adjacent tiles. Accuracy base is 80. Damage modifier is -40%. Crit mod is +5. Torch is +5. Target is -20 dodge. So that's pretty good too. And again, we'll get into her camping skills here when we have our first camp. So this Plague Doctor here, we are going to rename him. He is going to be our Zacula character, because Zacula is one messed up dude, so we're gonna have him be our plague doctor. He'd fit that. And I'm gonna leave her as Curtis. So what I want, just like most of my other Let's Plays, is I want your guys' names in the Let's Play. So just comment below if you want to, have a certain character be your name, or if you just say, hey, I wouldn't mind being in the game. Just it kind of helps to involve you a little bit more in the Let's Play. Stagecoach here. This is where you kind of upgrade. So if we upgrade the Stagecoach network, it increases how many available heroes we have. If you upgrade the barracks, it's the total roster size. Right now we can hold 9. If we upgraded it, it would bring us to 11. And the way you upgrade things is you get you get these kind of resources from dungeon delving. So there's busts, portraits, deeds, and crests. Now, to me, they're all the same. Just certain upgrades require certain ones of them, I guess you would say. So the Stagecoach network requires 4 deeds and 4 crests. So we're definitely going to get that. We're gonna
More
need more
arrives,
heroes.
foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
And we're actually going to increase it one more time, so we should have 4 fresh heroes.
Great
once we're done.
heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
And now we're going to go to the graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
The Olympus estate. I like the sound of that. That just rolls off the tongue. And this is the, village keeper, I guess. He's just one creepy dude. And in the graveyard, I'm guessing it's just when your hero dies, it'll be here. It'll probably say how he dies. Let's see. And we can't... all this stuff is locked, so we can't dig into any of this. Let's see. And survivalist. But we are going to stop the first episode right here. So that's kind of the rough introduction to the game. I know you won't go back, forget it, Urk. So with our next part 2 coming up next here, we're going to be diving into our first dungeon, and we're going to be embarking on that, and we'll kind of get into the actual dungeon aspect of it. But that's everything for part 1, guys. So if you can, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. We try to do a lot of indie stuff. It's usually about a week after release, just so they can fine-tune it a little bit, and we don't have to quit our Let's Play halfway through. But that's everything. So if you guys can, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys next time. Herc out.